Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. We are in MT main studio in Mannheim where Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat of Germany is having its 34th Jalsa Salana. Alhamdulillah, we've been through the 2 days of Jalsa Salana. It's the last day of Jalsa Salana and first session has been just ended and we are waiting. Before we go to our second session of today, we have invited some guests here in our studio. Let me introduce them for you. From my right side is Mukarram Ameer Sahib of Jamaat Ahmadiyya Germany, Abdullah Wagishauser Sahib, and next to him is Mukarram Ata-ul-Mujeeb Rashid, Imam of Fazl London, and next to him, our last guest is Mukarram Waleed Tariq Sahib. He is Ameer of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat of Switzerland. Ameer Sahib, let me start. First, welcome to you, our studio. Let me start with you. Alhamdulillah, it's a great honor for us that when Hazrat Amir al-Momineen arrived here 2 or 3 days ago here for inspection of Jalsa Gah, during his speech to workers and volunteers of Jalsa Gah, during his speech he said that Alhamdulillah, today Jamaat Ahmadiyya Germany has reached a stage of maturity as far as the preparation for Jalsa Salana is concerned. It's a great honor for us, it's a great compliment, or I should say, what more a man can desire for. How do you say it?
Yeah, it is so to say an official medal which we have received by Khalifat al-Masih. May Allah strengthen his hand in a special situation. Of course, we have received many more compliments before too, but to have this compliment, especially for the preparation, Alhamdulillah, this was really an enjoyable moment. Indeed, we had a very good inspection this time. Everything was well planned, and Hazrat Khalifat al-Masih, wherever he went, was satisfied with the arrangements. And I think what is always visible in Germany, that we are trying to stick to the traditions which we know from Pakistan. From Qadian and from Jalsa Salana in Rabba, from the center, because these Jalsas are no more over there. And I know you are, as a new missionary coming from Pakistan to Germany, maybe you have, before this, you have even not attended any Jalsa Salana by yourself, yeah? Yes. So therefore it is so important that these traditions which we found there, in the 70s, for example, I moved into the Jamaat and I attended nearly every Jalsa Salana from that day, till we were no more allowed to do it. To continue with these traditions and to even improve them and develop them, I think it is a very important affair and issue. What I've seen in the preparations this time, we had when Hazrat Khalifat al-Masih later on came to the big hall, we had about 100 Nazameens which were standing around in a row, everybody in front of his piece of paper where it was written which Shoba he represents. And I'm by myself always, again and again, astonished how many there are. They have further divided them due to the increase of the duties. And then of course, people who were increased. Now we have a Jalsa for 30,000 people. You cannot handle it in the way we have done it before when we had 5,000-6,000 people. So every year some new innovations are coming in, and this was visible this time too. And therefore I think Khazur gave us this compliment, and we enjoyed it very much. Alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah. Imam Sahib, you were there when Hazrat Khalifat al-Masih Rabi Rahimullah Ta'ala arrived in London in 1984. And then you witnessed the miraculous changes that took, that happened after Hazur's arrival there.
Yes.
So would you please share some of your memories, happy memories regarding the Jalsa Salana of UK?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that it's really a great honor, which I must always remember, that when Hazrat Khalifat al-Masih Rabi Rahimahullah Ta'ala, he arrived in UK after his migration from Pakistan, then I had the good honor and fortune of being present there at his feet. And after that, Alhamdulillah, Huzur stayed in UK for 19 years. And these years, they have shown as a continuous process of evolution and progress after progress. Actually, our community, whether it's in Germany, whether it's in Switzerland or in UK, wherever it is created for the purpose of making progress continuously. And all the Jamaats all over the world, by the grace of Allah, they are moving in that direction. So looking at that angle which you have mentioned, that when Huzur arrived there in UK, that was on 30th April 1984. At that time, the Jalsa of the local UK Jamaat, that was already planned. And Huzur said that, okay, you hold the Jalsa as you have planned in a hall nearby. And Huzur agreed that he would just come for the concluding address, and that will be all his participation there. So Huzur delivered, mashallah, a very historic, very memorable address in English on the subject of Tabligh. So anyway, I don't go into that detail. After that, soon after Huzur's arrival, he initiated a scheme that 2 centers should be purchased, one in UK and one in Germany. In UK, Islamabad was purchased. In Germany, Nasrbagh was purchased. So the first Jalsa in UK after Huzur's arrival, that was held in April 95. April 85. And that was the first Jalsa which really acquired the international sort of Jalsa. Because wherever the Khalifa of the time is there, and particularly where he resides, that Jalsa acquires that central position. So that was the first Jalsa in the presence of Huzur, Ayyadahullah Ta'ala, in Islamabad. While the previous year when he addressed the concluding in the session, there was, I remember, 3,000 to 4,000 people who were present in that Jalsa. And suddenly the attendance jumped, into nearly 10,000 or so. And delegates from other countries, they also came. Large number of people from Europe, they were possible for them to come. So that was a Jalsa held in Islamabad, and we used to have old types of marquees with poles in the middle and some opening at the top. And the wooden floor was not available in those days. Simply people used to sit on carpets, few chairs, and very modest arrangement. Still, when I look at those pictures, I remember, what simple days they were, no more these better facilities as we have. And this is all by the grace of Allah, blessing of Allah. But that was very simple days, and attendance was much greater than last year, but much smaller than what we have today. So that was the beginning. Huzur spoke on all 3 days, and ladies also had their arrangement, separate marquee was there. So it was a very special Jalsa, because for the first time, the people in Europe, they were able to attend a Jalsa and were able to watch Huzur from so close. They could sit very close to Huzur, listen to him, watch him, meet him, and shake hands with him. And that was a very special atmosphere, and everybody was so happy. One interesting thing, if I can remember about that very first Jalsa, that unfortunately there was heavy rain during that Jalsa. I think all the participants, maybe Ameer Sahib was there at that time, he would remember that was heavy rain. And the coaches, the buses and the cars, they were all stuck in mud. And it was very hard time for Khuddam to push those buses and coaches and cars from the mud. So much so that Huzur Rahimahullah Ta'ala, when he came to know that there's a problem outside, he was, such a personality that he would immediately come out. He came out to see what's happening, what's the problem. And he himself not only encouraged the Khuddam in that Wakare Amal which they were performing, he was also stood by their side. So much so that when the wheels moved very quickly, a lot of mud came on him as well. And his Echkan was soaked in that mud at that time. But he embraced the people, Khuddam, who were working so hard for pushing these cars out. So that was something which everybody so much enjoyed. Seeing Khalifa of the time standing within them, encouraging them, shaking hand with them, embracing some of the people. And that was wonderful scene.
Exactly.
So step by step, every year it went on, and improvement. It became the central Jalsa, special speeches of Huzur on the middle day regarding the activities of the Jamaat that was there. Then International Shura was also held in those days. That was also a unique feature. Then coming further on in 1993, the International Bath was also initiated. It started there.
Yes.
And that was a unique feature, a very inspirational, a very motivating event it used to be when people, I don't know, go into the detail, that was there. Then delegations from other countries, from Africa, the kings, they started coming. They also very much enjoyed, they spoke, the delegates, they spoke about the community. And so many things happened, one after the other. Translation system, initially very modest system was there, then it developed, and now we translate into 12 languages. And people are seated in the marquee, which is a very big marquee, perhaps the largest ever, which the UK people have seen.